What is up, everybody? It's Dynamic here, and welcome back to another MLW video. Now today we're going to be talking about some controversy that happened in light of the Western Wildcats and Coastal Cobra series, where a ball had hit Brendan Zerleg while he was on first base, and they called him out. However, Drew Davis made it clear on his Instagram story that this wasn't always the rules. So we're just going to talk about that, but before we start, I want to say, guys, I promise I will never say points instead of runs again. I saw the comments, it won't happen again. So without further ado, let's just get into this video. So to start, obviously we have to look at the play, but I'm going to play back the entire inning because I think it's important to understand what goes on in this game. It's the bottom of the fourth in the third game of the series, and Drew Davis gets a nice hit to get a single. Now, this game is pretty important because, especially in this inning, if the Cobras are able to score, they walk off the game, they win, there's no other inning, it's over. If the Cobras are able to score 1 point, you can see Andy Duran walks there, and then he goes to first base and then second. So they have 2 on first with 0 outs. Caden here is going to strike out, which is okay because the Cobras are still in a pretty good position. Now, here comes the controversial part because you can see Brendan Zerleg will strike out too, but he's going to go to first in order to give Drew Davis a chance at the plate. That's the rules of this league. Obviously, that's how it works. Now, you're going to see that Drew Davis gets a nice hit, but it does hit Brendan Zerleg in the ankle. A lot of speculation is going around that it may have not hit Brendan Zerleg, but I mean, you could see in the replay it definitely did. However, Andy Duran then goes home, and it's kind of a close call. We never really get a good look at it. But let's just look at that last hit one last time. So it is evident in the replay that Drew Davis did hit Zerleg. That's something we know by fact. But the reason why this is kind of proven wrong is because on his Instagram story, Drew Davis showed video of a clip from about 6 or 7 years ago where the exact same thing happened to the Wildcats, but they called the runner safe. Now, I completely understand Drew Davis's frustration here. It's like it's okay for the Wildcats, but it's not okay for the Cobras, especially since the commissioner is on the Wildcats. They're going to be the ones that are getting all the scrutiny. Now, in Kyle's defense, Jimmy is the one who kind of made this call, at least on the broadcast. I wasn't there. I don't know what actually happened during the play, but because they made the call out at first, we never got a chance to look at the play at home, which would have decided the game and the series, but we never got a good look at it because they called him out on first. They didn't show a replay of the home camera in the video. They didn't even look at it probably at the game. Pat Ballman seems clear that he got him out, but the fact that they never showed the clip from the side angle means to me that they didn't really get anything. And yes, that clip ends right there. There is no more footage of what happened during the game. It was literally, he was out at first, and I think it's a good time now to talk about the rules more extensively in MLW's eyes. So the MLW rulebook isn't really that large in scale. It does have a decent amount of rules, but they are pretty easy to understand and conceptualize. So I'm going to be going over pretty much every rule that I feel like is relevant in this case, and a couple of them are pretty telling, but are also pretty concerning on MLW side of things because it feels like more discretionary measures were to be used in this situation that I feel like were just blown over, and I think that's why Drew Davis is frustrated. And afterwards, I'm going to let you guys hear the broadcast that Jimmy did because the rule sounded pretty for sure in Jimmy's head, but it didn't really look like that, especially on paper. Now, the rulebook was updated in 2022, so these are newer rules than the ones in that 7-year-old video. But the first one is if a batter hits the ball and it hits the runner in the air or on the bounce, the runner is ruled out. This doesn't really say anything about the runner on base, so it is interesting to look at, and it's more evidence for Kyle. This one is more interesting though. Any given play is allowed to be reviewable except for callbacks and strikes. That's extremely important because this play, while it was reviewed, I don't think it was reviewed as extensively as possible. And then the second one, the comprehensive MLB rulebook, is referred to for specific plays not covered by the MLW rulebook to assist with rulings. Now, this makes sense, but the MLB rule is that they are generally ruled out even if the batter is on base. But there are exceptions if the ball passes an infielder, not including the pitcher who could have fielded the ball, then in that instance, the runner is not ruled out because it is more ruled like kind of an error. So that's something to look at. However, it's interesting to say if these rules were put in place 7 years ago, there's not really a way to check without being Kyle Schultz himself and looking at the history of the website going all the way back 7 years ago and looking at the rules, because there are new rules now. And sadly, it kind of puts Drew Davis's case to bed because they could have said that they did this. However, if you listen to the broadcast, it seems like Jimmy Norp just kind of makes the rule right away, and I think that is, once again, the frustrating thing to Drew Davis. Did they pull up the MLB rulebook, or did they just know that rule by itself? I don't think enough was done, and that might have been what Drew Davis had posted on his story. However, I'll let you listen to the broadcast, but afterwards, stick around because I'm going to have an exclusive interview with Drew Davis about the entire situation.
Drop ball in play, hit Zerlag, he's out! Hits Brendan Zerlag! Either way, I believe he's out at home, but we will take a look at everything that's going on here. The runner is out for runner's interference. Even though he was on the base, the rule in MLW is if a batted ball hits you, no matter where you are out. So the runner will be out. It's a base hit, but runner's interference in the scorebook.
What is up, everybody? I'm here today with Drew Davis and Gus, his cat. Say hello, Gus. And we're going to be talking about the situation, obviously, that occurred with the Brendan Zerlag getting hit by a ball. You know, talked about it all video. This is Drew Davis here. He's going to give his point of view. First of all, Drew, thank you for coming. Thank you for doing this, helping me out with this video. But just talk to me. What were you feeling in that situation? What's been going on with this?
Cold. I was feeling really cold. It was really cold that day. And I wasn't really in the mood to be arguing such a disastrous turn of events at that moment. But since then, honestly, I did not think that we would find a video of it. And I was just kind of combing through the comments on the Pipe It Up, YouTube video. And someone commented, hey, this actually happened in the 2019 vid. Put the watermark down, the timestamp. So I don't remember his name, but shout out that guy. You can go see his name, go to the video. But I was like, all right, let's go check this out. Sure enough. And it was even funnier that it was the cats that it happened to. And for me, there's no way, I totally get there's no way that, not no way, but that it was very unlikely that someone would have remembered that had already happened, even if it happened to his team. I wasn't faulting Kyle for not remembering, because the reason we made the rule at the time was we had kind of established that we didn't think this had happened in MLW before, so we were kind of making we were trying to set a new precedent, and where we disagreed is how we should set the precedent. And so I'm not blaming him for not remembering that. Yeah. But then seeing that it had happened before, honestly, people were asking me in the Discord, they're like, "Oh, do you want to replay the game?" And I was like, "No, we don't want to replay the game." All we kind of wanted, because Kyle kind of sent us a text afterward, after. Honestly, I put up that video late at night. I was kind of just at the end of the day, MLW is an entertainment company. Yeah. That's not me saying that MLW is rigged or anything, but it is an entertainment company, and the way that every sport is. Every sport is an entertainment company. So the way we put out posts and stuff like that is for entertainment. So I was like, let's throw this out there. Let's stir the pot a little bit. For sure. And then it kind of it got a lot. I had a bunch of people messaging me, and then I didn't see until the next morning. Kyle had sent us a message, and he was really sincere. He was like, "Hey, really sorry this happened. We wasn't this is not what we were trying to do. We weren't trying to be biased, anything like that. We tried as hard as possible not to. And then it was just kind of what can we do to set it right? And then we did kind of get another explanation, which is what everyone else saw on the official MLW Instagram, where he was the reason this is different is because it hit the bag, which that's where I kind of got a little frustrated again, because I don't think it hit the bag. Unless you can show me evidence that it hit the bag and not his foot, I kind of slowed it down and zoomed in. The only way I can see the ball popping up like that is if it hit his foot. But so long story short, like me and Andy were kind of discussing it. Like we were kind of just hoping for like an apology, just like a, hey, stuff happens. Like mistakes were made, a call was made. We can't go back in time. Like obviously we can't go back and retroactively change the call. So I mean, we were honestly just kind of hoping for like this happened. Super sorry. Let's move on. But then I feel like that didn't really happen. So. We're kind of where we're at right now.
And is that all you would want from this situation? No redo of games, no... Because, I mean, I think Andy Duran was safe. A lot of people are saying he's out, but they never showed the camera angle.
The way that the rule would have panned out was it wouldn't have mattered if Andy was safe or out, because the rule that I was arguing for and what actually did happen in the 2019 video was that it was a dead ball. Everyone advanced one base. Mm-hmm. So it would have been bases loaded, 2 outs with Andy up. Now, there's been a lot of discourse of, well, Ballman was dealing, like he would have just probably struck you guys out again. And like my argument would have been like, that was the one inning we were getting to him. Like we got bases loaded. And also, when you got bases loaded and the winning run's on third, there's two pressure things about it. One, you can't throw a ball. Yeah. Because a walk locks him in. So, like, you're nervous to throw a strike, but then also now you have to throw strikes. So the hitter knows, like, the hitter has an advantage because it's basically like being up in the count, because you know that the pitcher can't fool around, because pitcher goes down 1-0. Now it's really nerve wracking. Then he goes down 2-0. Now it's like a real big deal. So sure. I think it's like, people can say like, oh, Ballman was stealing, but like, I think it's just so situational based. Like, he had been out there in the cold it was a long inning because we were getting on base and we were having long at bats. So I don't think it's as easy as just saying like, oh, he would have just gotten Andy out. But, we'll never know.
Yeah, so, I mean, so is all you would really want from that then just an apology from the league, or an acknowledgement at least?
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be like an apology, because like, listen, I'm the biggest like I don't want robo umps in the MLB. Yeah, and like people miss calls, like it happens. Like it's gonna suck if like we miss out, either like we miss out on like a 1 or 2 seed because of it, or if we like miss the playoffs. But at the end of the day, like if we're missing the playoffs by that one game, then we probably didn't play how I was expecting us to play, or how I wanted us to play. So hopefully that game doesn't even matter. But yeah, I think all in all, I kind of just want like hey, we messed up. Yeah, for sure. Which is like fine to do. Like, I don't know why that's such a big deal.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, well, thank you, Drew, for coming out, helping me with this video. I know you, I'm not going to say enjoy, but you indulge in a lot of my content, so I appreciate you for that. And
I like your videos.
Thank you, Drew. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll let you go, man. Have a good night, all right?
We're going to have every guy at our next series, just heads up.
All right, I'll look out for it. Yeah. I'll look out for the breakdown video.
All right,
Drew.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, appreciate you.
See you later.
So that was the full uncut interview of me and Drew Davis talking about this situation in full. I honestly learned a lot about the situation in whole. I thought it was fairly interesting, his point of view on it, kind of that he felt like for sure that a mistake was made. But I really think the question is, was the mistake made in this series, or was the mistake made like 6 years ago in 2019? It's hard to say. Either way, I want to thank Drew for coming on the show. I want to thank you guys for watching the video. I know it's kind of a long one. Make sure y'all subscribe so you don't miss any more MLW content. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later, and peace.